Hey guys, J0, how you doing? I'm going to show you today how we make homemade buttermilk biscuits from food stores. We store a lot of baking items, baking soda, baking powder. We even store powdered buttermilk because a lot of times we don't use, if we buy fresh buttermilk, we don't use it before it goes bad, so we just started buying this. It says it has a shelf life of at least 3 years. But one, it don't last around here that long, and two, I bet you if you put it in the freezer, you could probably push it closer to 5. So anyway, all right, we're gonna make biscuits. In the bowl here, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now over here in this little bowl, we have got 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We have 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1/3 cup, rounded up, a little bit of a heaping 1/3 cup of shortening. You could use lard, but we're going to use vegetable shortening or Crisco, and 1 cup of buttermilk, which is right here. This buttermilk that we made from the powder is 1 cup of water and 4 tablespoons of the powdered buttermilk. And you just whisk it together to make your buttermilk. So now what we're going to do, first step, and you want to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. All right, let's make some biscuits. All right, so in the bowl we've got 2 cups of flour. We're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. And we're going to add our 1/3 cup of lard or shortening, whichever it is that you're using. Now we're just going to take a hand mixer and cut the flour and the shortening together. The dry ingredients and the shortening, we're just cutting it all together in our little bowl here. Just like that. So now we are going to add our buttermilk. If you were going to take this on a camping trip or something like that, if you're going to take it to your deer camp someplace, you could take this and put it in a bag just the way that it is. Put your buttermilk powder, your 4 tablespoons of buttermilk powder into the mix, and then whenever you get to wherever you're going to bake them at, just add your 1 cup of water into the mix, and that will make the biscuit dough as well. So, all right, so now time for our buttermilk. We don't want to mix it with a mixer. You just want to mix it with your rubber spatula or your wooden spoon, whatever it is that you have around, because you don't want to knead your dough any more than what you have to, because you want your biscuits to be light and fluffy, and the more you knead it, the more it's going to not be light and fluffy. So we're just going to mix it all together, scrape it down. You will need to knead it just a very little bit to get all the buttermilk mixed in with all the ingredients so that the moisture can activate the powder and the soda. Like that. That's about what we want. You can make drop biscuits if you just want to do drop biscuits, but I like to roll mine out. Just got me a piece of parchment paper here. Then I'm just going to sprinkle some flour on. Some people use cloth, some people use the table, some people use the countertop. I do this because after it's all said and done, I'm all done making, and I can just fold the parchment paper up and throw it away. So now I'm going to just get my extra dough here off of theirs. Scrape my dough out onto the flour. Just like that. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more flour on top of the dough. I'm going to kind of just get this flour worked in around a little bit. Give it a quick, very light knead just to mix in some more of that flour, like that. Now I got to find my rolling pin, which I don't have here handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flatten it out with my hands, which is just fine. Flatten it from the center out. And you want it to be about to your first knuckle or so on your finger. Thick, just about like that. This recipe, the way that I'm making them, and the way that I'm going to cut them with a jar ring. The wide mouth jar rings is what I'm cutting, so let me grab one real quick. The wide mouth jar ring. Start cutting my biscuits out of your dough. This recipe that we used should make 8 biscuits this size. So we're going to cut our first 4. Then I'm going to lay them on the baking sheet and I'm going to redo my dough. Let me show you that real quick. Just take the rest of your dough. Work it back up into a ball. Re-roll it with your rolling pin if you're using a rolling pin. And just keep cutting until you have all of your dough used up. Just lay them out on your baking sheet and then bake them at 425 for about 8 to 10 minutes. These will probably take about 9 minutes. So we will see you whenever we have our biscuits coming out of the oven. This last one here, I'm just going to put it into a biscuit form, a shape, flatten it out a little bit, and this will be the J&L man-sized biscuit for the day. So there we go. Now we're going to bake these at 425 for about 8, 9, 10 minutes, and we will see you when we pull them out. Okay guys, they've been in for 10 minutes. Look at that. See, there's one my J&L biscuit right there that wasn't rolled out, but you can see it makes really beautiful, light and fluffy biscuits that are just screaming to put some jelly and jam and butter or sausage gravy, or me, I put sausage patties and then an egg and some cheese. It's good stuff. And put some mustard on it too. It's good. Alright guys, there you go. That's how we make biscuits from our long-term food storage items. Hope this helps. Questions or comments, feel free. Please remember, this is just our recipe. This is just an idea. Take it, make them how you like them. And hope this helps. So y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. God bless. The end. Buzz, buzz. The end.